Here's our third and final video on equations and problem solving. This type of problem that we'll deal with in this video is consecutive integer problems. And the number one thing to know is, what are consecutive integers? Well, consecutive just means one right after the other. So maybe you want to write that down. Or numbers that come right after one right after another. So 1, 2, 3 would be consecutive integers. 14, 15, 16 are consecutive integers. Sometimes you will be asked to find consecutive even or consecutive odd integers. And so what those would like consecutive even integers would be 2, 4, 6, 8, and then conversely, consecutive odd integers would be 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, and I'll show you how to set all these problems up. Example 1 asks you to find the sum of 3 consecutive integers. That the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 147, and they want you to find out what those numbers are. Now, I know you could guess and check your way through this, but it helps to actually write an equation. So let's talk about it a little more. So our first number in this consecutive group we are going to call x. Okay, so x represents our first number. And I'll do like 3 because you know it's 3 numbers, right? And so if your first number was x, well, the one that comes right after that is going to be your first number plus an additional one. Just think about that for a second. If your first number was 2, we'll add 1 to that, and that'd be 3, which is your next consecutive number. And then your third number is going to be that original number plus 2 this time. So again, if your first number was 2, then your third number is 4. And 2, 3, 4 would have been those consecutive integers. But in this case, it says the sum of those 3 integers, I'll just leave space, is 147. Well, what are those 3 integers? Here's your first number, here's your second number, and here's your third number. So these problems start off and they seem very scary, but once you realize how to write these little expressions, it's not so hard. And now all you have to do is combine any like terms that you have. So I have 3 x's, and then my constants total 3. And that's 147. So now it's easy to solve. Just go ahead, subtract 3 from both sides, and you get that 3x equals 144. And then 144 divided by 3 is 48. So I'll fit that, over here. X equals 48. Well, you're not quite done with this problem because x equaled 48. But it wanted all 3 integers. So if x is 48, well, what's the next number? It's 48 plus 1 right there. And so you get 49, and then your third integer is 50. So 48, 49, 50 are the 3 consecutive integers that, when added, add up to 147. All right, let's look at this second one because we're jumping right into consecutive even or odd integers. In this case, we're looking for the sum of 2 consecutive odd integers. Well, these are set up kind of the same way. Your first number is still x. However, if you're looking for odd integers, you need to skip the next number and look at a number that's really 2 digits away. So your second number is going to be x plus 2, because in here would be that even digit that we want to skip. This setup that you see here would be identically the same if this said even. Your first number is still x, your second number would be x plus 2. So these don't change. It works itself out. So you know the sum of your first number plus your second number needs to add up to 56. So now you just combine like terms and solve. So subtract 2 from both sides. 2x equals 54, and x equals 27.